the time, but honestly, I thought only dictators cancelled elections. And why are they doing it? Why are they doing it? Because they're scared out of their lives of what reform is going to do at the ballot box on May the 1st.
Keir Starmer and Labour pulled every possible move to block the local elections, fearing the crushing loss that awaited them. Yet, with voting scheduled to proceed, Starmer has turned to underhanded tactics to either snatch a victory or undermine the outcome. Nigel Farage has just blown open Starmer's scheme, uncovering the frantic strategies Labour hoped to keep hidden. So what precisely did Farage expose? In this video, we'll break it down.
Firstly, big political change is coming to the north of England. It is happening. And it's certainly happening here in Doncaster, where the political map is going to be completely reshaped on May the 1st. And boy, do the Labour Party not know it. They know what's coming, and so they are resorting to some pretty low tactics. Labour senior figures, Wes Streeting was one, the Health Secretary, suggesting that if Reform take power, it's going to cost you 15 grand to get a hip replacement. All I would point everyone to is our contract with the people, which we published last year before the general election, which is still valid, in which we say we want an NHS as it was originally devised to be free at the point of delivery, but we are utterly convinced that it's failing in terms of its funding model. Indeed, the more money we put in, the less we seem to get out, and we want to look at how we can make a more efficient NHS.
And we want to examine how we can build a more effective NHS. Nigel Farage throws the doors wide open, warning that political upheaval is about to smash through Labour's northern bases. He lays bare Labour's desperation, admitting they have already turned to underhanded tactics because they know what's on the horizon. Farage reveals that Starmer isn't steering a political movement. He is captaining a sinking vessel. The man who pretends to stand for the people now clings to smear campaigns because he knows the public is preparing to toss him aside. Labour isn't just heading into an election. They are walking into a public judgment for years of betrayal. Farage ridicules Wes Streeting's hollow lies. Labour ministers are running around shouting that reform will privatize the NHS and charge $15,000 for hip replacements. Complete nonsense. The truth is, Labour isn't simply deceiving. They are spewing panic. Starmer is leaning on tired scare tactics because he has nothing real to give. He treats voters like fools, as if pelting pensioners with lies will rescue his collapsing rule. It's pathetic. It's insulting. And it's proof that Labour under Starmer believes the working class is gullible enough to be frightened back into submission.
That one of the reasons you can't get a GP appointment is that in the course of the last 10 years, and wait for this number, 7.2 million people, foreign-born people, have registered with GPs. That is the scale of mass immigration into Britain and explains much of the pressure.
Farage strikes even harder. In just a decade, 7.2 million foreign-born individuals registered with UK GPs, strangling access to healthcare, a direct consequence of Labour's obsession with mass migration. All the while, Starmer was busy waving rainbow flags and posturing about inclusivity, as British citizens waited months for a GP appointment. Labour traded away healthcare for flashy headlines and cheap labour. And now they deflect, lying and blaming everyone else. This isn't immigration, it's national sabotage, and Starmer's fingerprints are smeared all over it.
We're also getting the Russia conspiracy. Just because 12 or 13 years ago I said I respected Putin but didn't like him, suddenly you'd think I'm his right-hand man. It's all lies, 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 but when Labour lie, it means they're in trouble.
Because Starmer is panicking over losing the local elections, he is attempting to damage Farage's reputation. Yet Farage pointed out that whenever Labour resorts to lies, it only shows they are in deep trouble.
Nigel Farage didn't even turn up to the debate in Parliament today. Nigel Farage is fawning over Putin. That's not patriotism. That is not what working people need. What I've done is take the duty of Prime Minister seriously, which is to ensure that our citizens are safe and secure, and this decision is made to ensure that they are safe and secure.
But these lies won't succeed now, because what Starmer has done to the country is no secret to anyone.
But they're in trouble with something else too, and that's way before Trump tariffs, the state of the economy. The truth is, if it wasn't for huge borrowing, if it wasn't for massive increases in the population, we would be in recession already. And it's quite stunning to think that at the moment, a job is being lost every 9 minutes in this country, and it's happening mostly in retail and in hospitality, because frankly, the Reeves budget is just becoming unaffordable for too many employers, small and medium-sized in particular. The British car industry is in a desperate state. In 2024, we produced fewer cars than we had since
Farage demolishes Labour's false economy narrative. Britain's economy isn't expanding. It's decaying under mass migration and reckless debt. Yet Starmer plans to flood the nation with low-wage workers, bury future generations in debt, and cheer for economic growth while businesses close and families go hungry.
54. And much of this is a result of Boris Johnson, Theresa May, and other Conservative leaders putting electric vehicle mandates, and if manufacturers don't meet them, they get fined up to $20,000 a car if they don't meet their targets. So we've got a really serious, potentially terminal situation with our car industry. And frankly, when it comes to vans, commercial electric vans, they just don't work. So it's up to consumers what cars they want to buy, not governments. And we're learning that lesson. And Starmer, our Prime Minister, will give a speech in the West Midlands this afternoon in which he says the fines will be reduced from 20,000 to 15,000. Well, kind of so what? There'll be some exemptions for Aston Martin and one or two of the smaller manufacturers, and hybrids can go on to 2035. Frankly, he's doing no more than fiddling around the edges at a very, very major industry that's in big trouble. And the danger is, if we carry on down this route, frankly, China will simply sweep up.
Frankly, China will simply take over. Farage destroys Starmer's so-called car industry rescue. Starmer's plan is to trim EV fines by a few £1,000s while the entire sector collapses. He doesn't intend to rebuild Britain. He intends to oversee its burial. The car industry, once a proud symbol of British strength, is now on life support. And Starmer's grand solution is to shuffle paperwork while the factories shut their doors. Before we move ahead, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like and share and subscribe to our channel for more exclusive coverage of the seismic shifts in British politics. Let's move forward. Farage exposes the steel disaster. Britain is about to become the only G7 country without primary steel production. Starmer and Labour stood idle while China carved away Britain's future. This is treason masked as leadership. Labour didn't let steel collapse out of weakness, but out of cowardice. Starmer preaches sovereignty. Yet Britain can't even produce its own steel. And here, Starmer circles back to the local elections, laying bare Labour's record.
And you talk about the need for leaner local government, a more efficient local government. Well, given that Doncaster City Council's daily interest repayments are £48,000 a day, which is an almost mind-blowing figure, something needs to happen. Now, it is my very great pleasure to welcome on board John Ryan. John.
Thank you very much. Thank you. First of all, I'd like to say I'm a very proud Doncastrian, although I have not lived in the borough for many years. And the reason for that is first of all, I've watched from afar in Cheshire what's happened here in Doncaster. First I saw it with the football club that was destroyed in the 1990s, and I actually had to take it up 1998, and I hope one or two of you were there when the day at Wembley in 2008 we beat Leeds United in front of 80,000. Any Leeds fans, hard luck. And we brought Doncaster Rovers back onto the map, and that's been taken on by Terry Bramall now, and we look like getting another promotion this year. And that's great from the football perspective. But the sad thing for me, when we won the Johnson Paints Cup, we went on an open bus trip round Doncaster, and we went through the city centre, and it was a disgrace. Gambling shops, the odd pub, charity shops and closed down shops.
John Ryan, a proud son of Doncaster, unleashes the anger of the betrayed, declaring that Labour are a pack of liars who deceived him while his city crumbled before his eyes.
God say, get out there and get people to vote reform. They're sick of Labour. They're a gaggle of liars. Everything they do, lie, 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 lie. Proven liars. Proven.
Well, when genuine working-class men, the backbone of Britain, rise up and call Labour a gang of liars to their face, it's clear Labour's empire is collapsing. Starmer only pretends to care about the North.
This town centre then, it was bustling. Look at the market. I used to love going around the market. What a fantastic, it's probably the best market in the north of England. Look at it now. Complete wilderness, along with the town centre. And that's decade after decade after decade of Labour rule in this city. It's wrong. And yet some people still vote for them. Talk about turkeys voting for Christmas. They don't think, do they? And I'm not saying the Tories are any better, but at least now there's another way. What I love about reform is, well, obviously, we've got a leader here, Nigel's charismatic. You've got to have somebody charismatic. Can you imagine? Nigel, Starmer. We are going to... Ed? How much is the electric going down? 300 quid, boss. Yeah, I know, you lying hound. Go.
I think, John, we can take that as a fairly firm endorsement of reform. And I love that message. If you can do it with a football club, you can do it with the city. That's a very, very good, positive message, and I think one that all of our candidates can take out onto the doorstep. We're delighted to have a famous son of Doncaster, someone who's done so much for the city here, and you can tell the pride that is welling up inside John, and he wants to see it back. And only by turning around by 180 degrees, the management, the government, the attitude towards business and jobs, can this happen. And we are giving this a real go. We're going to surprise everybody. I tell you what, when they wake up on May the 2nd, they won't believe what has happened in Doncaster.
Farage warns that May 2nd will bring a political earthquake. Labour's false empire of lies is about to face the verdict of those they deserted. And Starmer cannot rescue Labour because he cannot even rescue himself. He is not a leader. He is not a patriot. He isn't even a politician anymore. He is a desperate fraud pleading for one more chance to betray the very people who once trusted him. But Britain is awakening, and Starmer's nightmare is only just starting. Who will you support in the local election? Do you believe Keir Starmer and the Labour Party will suffer a crushing defeat that exposes just how unpopular they are with the people? In the comments below, share your views on what happens if Reform UK surges in this local election. Want to see more videos like this? If yes, please like and share and subscribe for more updates on British politics and the shifts reshaping it. Until next time, stay tuned.